the companies that make space happen. This week on Planetary Radio. Welcome. I'm Matt Kaplan of the Planetary Society with more of the human adventure across our solar system and beyond. Something different today. We'll stay at ground level for a couple of conversations about the thousands of small to medium-sized organizations you've never heard of that make space exploration and development possible. Emily Lakdawala is on vacation this week, but Bill Nye, the science guy, will join us as usual in a moment. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Matt.
That's the CEO of the Planetary Society, Bill Nye, the science guy. We're going to go to a company that is not just shares a name with him, but actually, Bill, what I found out after talking to the people at Nye Lubricants is you actually have a connection to them.
Oh, yes. The Nye family, not to trouble anybody, they were whalers in New England selling whale oil. And the Nye Lubricants company we have common ancestry. And Nye Lubricants is a subcontractor working for NASA selling lubricants that are not based on whale oil. Carry on, Matt.
Thank you, Bill. All of that coming up as part of our discussion about the little companies, the subcontractors, that make space exploration possible. Stay with us. Welcome back to Planetary Radio. I'm Matt Kaplan, about to return to the 2016 Space Tech Expo, held in late May here in Pasadena, California. As I wandered the exhibit hall, I did a double take when I saw a sign that said Nye Lubricants. I knew I had to talk to these guys for our discussion of the thousands of subcontractors that make space exploration and all other elements of the aerospace industry possible. As you've already heard, it was days later that Planetary Society CEO Bill Nye told me he actually does share ancestors who go even further back than the creation of Nye Lubricants in 1840. The New England-based company is still family-owned, but not by any Nyes are their descendants. Full disclosure, about 2 months after the conversation you're about to hear, Nye Lubricants became a corporate partner of the Planetary Society.
Well, I'm Bill Galary. I'm a senior engineer at Nye Lubricants. I've been there for 40 years.
I'm Bob Hoffman. I'm a regional engineering manager based in Southern California, and I've been there 5 years.
So, gentlemen, the first thing I want to make sure the audience knows is that there is no relationship between your Nye and our Nye.
Nope, no relationship at all.
Although your founder was...
William F. Nye.
That's too good a coincidence to pass up. You are here on the exhibit floor at Space Tech Expo with hundreds of other companies. I don't know how many others are direct competitors of yours, but you're all in this boat, or most of you are. There are very few sort of top-level contractors here. Most of the companies represented here have smaller booths like yours and are what we know as subcontractors. Does that seem to represent the experience accurately?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're subcontractors. We provide small but very crucial components for the aerospace industry. Many times the lubricants we use will be a few grams in a bearing. Not a lot of volume, but it's a key portion of the mission.
Tell me a little bit more about Nye Lubricants. Like, for example, one of those major contractors you work with is SpaceX?
We work with SpaceX, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Honeywell. We work with all the big companies that put satellite systems and space missions up there.
I hope it won't be a painful question, but, these are big companies. They do a lot of stuff. Why do they find it advantageous to work with companies like yours and all the others that we have here, rather than just saying, we'll just make our own lubricants or whatever?
Well, we have a very unique lubricant. It's low outgassing. You can anovate it. And we're the only company that has this particular oil, and it can be formulated into grease also. So it's something that works well in outer space. It lasts for missions that will go for 30 or 40 years, and it's unique, and that's why they come to us.
So you've got a unique product.
Yes, we do.
What are the challenges that you face as a subcontractor? I mean, you are kind of at the beck and call of that bigger company that you're working for.
Well, of course, they have specifications that are sort of pretty specific to the performance that they're looking for. Aerospace is a fairly small but very important part of our business. 50% of our business is automotive, which has a completely different set of requirements. In space, it's a little hard to send the repair guy out there to service the bearings. So you got to you got to have some very strict requirements in terms of reliability. It's a vacuum out there, so any kind of normal lubricant is going to evaporate and it's not going to work. So the one that Bill was referring to is called Penzane, and people in the industry know it. It's one of the few lubricants that lasts in a vacuum environment. And so it's been tested, and NASA has written about it, and so everybody in the industry knows it, and they just don't want to take a risk and pick a different lubricant.
So you've got a leg up because unlike a lot of the other companies here who are surrounded by competitors, you guys really do have a unique product that they kind of need to go to you for.
Yeah, but we still have to innovate. We have to, for one thing, we have to figure out improved ways of producing it and controlling it. The quality is ever more important, so that, we don't just sit back and rest on our laurels. And one thing that's nice is that the requirements from the aerospace industry have been something that we could parlay into the semiconductor world, because they also have vacuum requirements. So, they are able to send a service guy out there to repair things, but they are even more stringent as far as contamination and some of the other requirements. So it's a little bit different.
That's a really interesting angle. So you are seeing what NASA, of course, calls spin-offs, the kinds of things that are developed for space having advantages down here.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's why aerospace is so interesting for us, is that we see a play in another industry. Well, we're part of the Space Suppliers Council, which is specifically organized so that big and small companies can talk about the challenges in one of them. All of us have these export restrictions that prevent us from, rightfully so, not allowing our national enemies from getting secrets and things that we're not letting get out. But there's also a naturally competitive playing field that where we as businesses would like to be able to sell to other companies like European Space Agency companies that need things that we make, but we're restricted from doing that as easily as other companies in the world. So there is a kind of a challenge there that I think the American space industry is looking at. They're trying to figure out how to do that better.
And just the size of our company, we have about 160 employees, and so when we get hit with a deadline that a Boeing or Honeywell needs, we have to throw a lot of resources at it, and it's tough. We have schedules and deadlines on our own, and to commit even a few people, it makes it hard. But our management and our executives, they value the service that we provide to the aerospace community, and it's willing to do that.
How does it feel to know that some of your product is keeping things moving up in space?
Yeah, it's kind of cool to know that something you touched is now on something like the Curiosity on Mars. And you look up there and you see the Mars, and the Curiosity's there, and your product is keeping the mechanisms running.
Bill Galary and Bob Hoffman in the Nye Lubricants booth at last May's Space Tech Expo. My thanks to them and to the thousands of companies and millions of workers we will never meet, but who make the final frontier possible.